Outlandish, you are not the father moments on Paternity Court.
You are not.
I apologize.
Miss Fobbs, do you know who Prince's father is?
No.
That's me.
You are not the father.
I told you.
Oh my God. Are we to assume that this other gentleman is Jaden's biological father, the one you spoke about, or is there someone else?
We've got love triangles, best friends turned frenemies, and an outlandish paternity revelation in store here. Hold on to your DNA swabs, because things were about to get wild as Mr. Pace denied being the father of Miss Fobbs' baby because of a certain best friend. Here we go.
We met while I was actually driving. It was a hot day. She had on short shorts. I'm a leg man. I had a conversation. I ended up getting her phone number. We went out on a few dates. We kind of bonded real quick. She ended up moving in with me and Mr. Randolph. Shortly after her moving in, she became pregnant.
So, how did these guys meet? Well, it was a hot summer day, and Miss Pace's short shorts caught Daddy's eye. Shortly after that, they moved in with Mr. Randolph, his bestie, and things started to unravel. Well, that's one way to put it, though Mama claimed it was a big mistake. The damage was done.
The situation with me and Randolph was a mistake, the worst mistake I think I ever made, because I've never intentionally set out to hurt Byron in any way. I just want this to be okay. I want everything to stay the way it is. I don't want us to separate the situation or anything.
Moving on, the baby mama announced she's pregnant. Sadly, the lovey-dovey scene turned sour after a heated argument. Why, you ask? Well, that's what happens when trust issues and feelings of neglect creep in. Daddy found out the hard way that his BFF might be the dad, no less. Oh, the betrayal.
When I found out initially, like I said, I was hurt. I felt betrayed by actually both parties at that point. But I wanted to assess the situation, not being upset, because I initially called Mr. Randolph to find out what was going on. I wanted to meet with him face to face. But I did take a few hour break as far as before we met, because I didn't want to do anything out of anger.
Mr. Randolph had the stage next to answer the most burning question. How could he sleep with his best friend's girl? And his answer? Well, it just happened. Right, like that was enough to erase the sting of betrayal. The plaintiff didn't think so.
I'm very confused at this point. It's really hard for me to be standing here in front of you, and I'm kind of nervous as far as what I'm about to hear. I don't know, really want to move forward with a positive outlook.
I understand.
So these guys kept on saying it was a one-time fling, but Mr. Pace wasn't buying that, as even one was one too many for him. The whole situation laid heavily on the baby mama too, as both men compared their features with baby Prince. The suspense was real, but so were the trust issues.
You think you look pretty much exactly alike?
Little characteristics, forehead maybe, mouth, but
When you look at this picture, Miss Fobbs, do you see any resemblance?
No.
Do you see a resemblance to Mr. Pace?
Yeah, he looks like Byron more than he looks like Randolph.
I see my nose a little, as well as maybe my upper lip.
Miss Fobbs wanted the whole ordeal to be over with, as the repercussions were devastating to say the least, and she didn't want her kid to pay the price for that. On the other hand, the best friends managed to salvage what was left of their friendship. What a mess, right?
He knows Byron as his dad, and that's the way I want it to stay. I don't want him to grow up confused and later on down the line ask me questions as of why didn't I disclose this to him, and him to feel hurt and him to be feeling like he's neglected and he grew up never knowing. So that's why I am here.
It was pretty obvious baby mama and daddy still cared about each other, but the doubts were still gnawing at them. So much so, Mr. Pace didn't leave these two alone anymore. I would say, good thinking, man.
It kind of makes me out of the character of the person that I am. I have to
Because you want to be trusting.
I want to be
You
trusting.
don't want to have to worry about that with the people you love.
Yes, because, I stress enough in the streets with work and business and things of that nature. So when I get home, I don't really want that to be my most stressful place, I should say.
Well, the fate of little Prince was hanging in the balance. Not for long, though, because DNA diagnostics had done their magic once again. Yup, Judge Lake had those results. Would this manage to overcome this mistake? Or was there another twist waiting for them?
Mr. Pace, you are not his father.
bad, bro.
Oh, man.
So sorry.
That's not what I wanted to hear.
I'm so sorry.
A love story that turned into a ghostly mystery, where a woman was claiming a supernatural twist to parenthood. Buckle up, folks. This one's about to get weirder with each passing minute.
Why didn't I know about you?
I don't understand why you didn't know about me either.
Okay, that's not an answer.
5-year relationship.
Why don't I know about you?
Never heard of it.
I've never seen you in my house.
Did you ever ask
What a
Georgie
girlfriend.
why you haven't introduced me
Yeah,
to
but
your
no-
parents?
No, because we were just friends. It was like a sexual friendship that we had so many years.
So, Miss Stephanie claimed she had been involved with the deceased for 5 long years, and yet the Browns had never heard of her. So much so, they got to know about her after the funeral. And these guys weren't romantically involved, just friends with a lot of benefits.
Who told you he passed away?
My sister?
Did you call his parents or you felt like you didn't
No,
know
I didn't
them?
have
I don't
numbers.
know her. I didn't know her. I met her after Georgie passed.
So at what point did you finally decide I need to reach out to his parents?
She
because
didn't. I
they
reached out
may
to
be his
her.
par-
I reached out to her. My son is not here, okay?
It appears never hearing of the baby mama made the defendant skeptical. So she gets caught in the crossfire of the hurtful jabs, because after 2 years, a friend of Miss Brown brought a rumor to her attention. You can pretty much guess who it was about.
A friend of Georgie's, very close friend, told him, you need to find out if this baby is
You-
Georgie. It's other people in the neighborhood must be saying something because he came to me after 2 years. He brought this to my attention. It went over my head.
You told me that he looks like all your other grandkids.
My grandkids are biracial. I don't want to look at this baby and see something that's not there.
Well, the air was thick with accusations, leaving Miss C in a puddle of tears. She claimed she and Georgie decided to take a home DNA test, but had no funds, and then he passed away. Bummer! But it did bring forth the fact that he too had doubts about the paternity.
How many other possible fathers are there?
There's just one.
So just one other possible person.
Wait, come on now. We're here to get the truth. We're here to get everything out in the open. We're here to find out if my son has a child. We're here to find out I'm a grandmom of your baby.
Enter the conception chaos, as the baby mama accepts that there could be one other possibility. Though grandma wasn't falling for that. She thought there was more than one. So, where was this other guy then?
Did you ever tell the other guy?
He had passed away when I was 5 months pregnant.
So both potential fathers of this beautiful boy have passed away?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that why you've reached out to?
I just wanted both of them, both the grandparents, to know, because they both both lost a
We
child.
all want to know, but you can't delusion yourself.
It appears 3 years have passed. Baby mama never went for the test, all because she claimed Georgie promised to be in the kid's life no matter the results, and that made grandma doubt even more because she was the one who pushed for the test. Why the secrecy, Miss C?
Georgie told me no matter what the results were when he was alive, that he was gonna be in his life.
Really?
Yes, I
Georgie
told
couldn't even take care of himself.
I know, I understand, and I told you that the day before the funeral.
I can see that he wanted it, but he wasn't going to just claim it.
So you feel
Find
like
out.
the reason why he said, Mom, who does this baby look like? You felt like it was because he wanted the baby, but he just wanted to be sure.
He's looking for something that wasn't there.
Well, the harsh reality of uncertain paternity was about to become even harsher and a bit weird. The baby mama submitted a video claiming she saw a cloud of smoke swirling around her son that she claimed was the deceased's spirit. Now that's something, isn't it? The Browns had a hard time grasping that testimony.
What did she tell you about this video?
She said that's Georgie's spirit.
And then what did you say to her?
I'm like, wow, that's deep. I mean, I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person. So
I said, wow, look at this, it looks like
at this point in time, when it comes to Georgie and just listening to his name, sends chills to my body.
Hold your breath, because the moment was here. The results could either redefine family ties or reopen old wounds in an outlandish way. Time to find out which way it goes.
The percentage of relatedness is 0%.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
In a world where love meets lies, we have a couple ready to get married and run off into the sunset, only to be stopped by the groom as he called off the wedding. Why? Because of all the rumors going around about his bride. And that too for 5 years. What are we waiting for, huh? Let's dive right in.
Me and Devon, like you stated, have been together for 5 years, almost 6. Due to all the rumors, he no longer wants to get married. So I'm here today to prove that he is the father of Jaden.
Things I've seen, I don't really trust the things she do. I've seen too much to keep going on with this, so I have to make sure that this child is mine.
Our tale began with Miss Davies and Mr. Hunter, a duo who once danced in the rain of love. But hold those roses, because their romance turned sour soon after both of them started accusing each other of cheating and the like. Yep, both were holding the other responsible for ruining their relationship. Imagine that.
I would say that we were happy when we first got together, but then I started finding text messages, phone calls from other females. So at that point of the relationship, Your Honor, I no longer trusted him at all.
Well, I found messages in her phone too, same thing. So that's why I started doing the things I was doing.
As the drama unfolds, baby mama accepted she indulged in another man and threw caution to the wind as well. So when the pregnancy news got announced, the baby daddy obviously did not jump with joy. Oh, he was doubtful.
He was denying my son from the gate. He's like, are you sure it's mine? I found messages, I know you were other guys, so are you sure this is my son? I said, yes, I'm sure this is your son.
How were you sure?
She wasn't.
I wanted Devon to be the father. He has been there in my life for, at this time, we've been together like 2.5 years.
Moving on, it appears Mr. Hunter was drowning in a sea of reservations when it came to the baby mama. Right around the time of conception, he got to know through a friend that mama was having some real fun with guys at parties. And her reaction to these allegations? Oh, she just stood there smirking, no less.
He should trust me the same way I trusted him.
You all don't trust one another? That's another lie in court.
Her. One day, I'm at her house, right? She let me stay over her house. I had been drinking, so I wanted to go lay down, right? I accidentally fall asleep longer than I'm supposed to, so she's thinking I'm gone. She brings another guy and another girl upstairs into the room.
So the accusations of partying weren't enough. Nope. There was more where that came from. One fateful evening, when baby mama thought the defendant was out of the house, she called over 2 of her friends. What for? Let me put it this way, for fun times. Had she not been caught by him like a deer in headlights.
I did let him come over just because he was drinking. He said he needs to sleep it off for a while. So I'm thinking he's gone. And so I did come with the guy and the girl to my house and my room.
What were you bringing the guy and the girl in your room to do?
Your Honor,
We all know what that's finna do.
Now, while supposed baby daddy was busy throwing shade at mommy left and right, oh, he was no saint either. It seems they both were doing all that to hurt each other or whatever else these guys wanted. Meanwhile, Mr. Hunter had another such incident to share, but the judge was onto him too.
When you say, I'm upset because I didn't know he felt all these things about me, you do understand that these are things you've shown him.
Yes.
Because you're admitting in court that they happened. He's not just thinking it up, it happened. Now we know he was up to no good too.
no good.
Don't think I don't understand that.
So they both had not been faithful with each other, and poor baby Jaden was now right in the middle of all this. It got to the point where the baby daddy had little to no bond with him and didn't come to his birthday party while staying late out of the house till early in the morning. Something was up with this dude too.
She gonna start tripping on me and all kind of stuff, because we weren't, like, at that time, she was mad at me anyway. So
Doesn't matter, you're still supposed to show up to his birthday
If
party.
I came to the birthday party,
But
she
if
would have
this
been jumping all
potentially
over me in front of all the guests at the birthday party.
Why wouldn't you just show up at the party? It's not about Miss Davies, it's about Jaden.
Next up, baby mama came with some pieces of evidence to prove her point, that her baby was indeed Mr. Hunter's. It seems the hair texture, along with the height and placement of their feet, strongly suggested to her that Mr. Hunter was the baby daddy. Only question though, was that convincing enough?
Both of their hair look a mess, but I'm gonna give the baby a pass. All right. And I understand you're looking at texture of hair. Don't say good hair, baby. All hair, if you have some, is good. A height chart. Explain this to me.
Well, the average 4-year-old, Your Honor, is only 40 inches tall, which Jaden is 48 inches tall already.
The wedding was at stake. The relationship, along with everything else, seemed to be relying heavily on the outcome of the results. The atmosphere could not be thicker with tension as Judge Lake delivered the final verdict.
Mr. Hunter, you are not the father.
I told you.
I'm very
Told
sorry.
Don't cry now.
Oh my God.